Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Market Mind's introductory series. Today, we're going to be focusing on commodity intel and the geopolitical rhetoric since they are sort of connected. So, first, we get this consensus signals, and in these four spots, we only get the best signals here on the main page. So, we have live rhetoric, quant, and analyst rhetoric signals, but only the best ones, that means with the ones with the best win rate, get shown here on the main dashboard. Let's go through them one by one. So live rhetoric is the geopolitical side of things. We can see the main signals which are active on the top right here. Now these are for geopolitical, particularly the dashboard was the best out of all of our options. We have the active conflicts, of course, a bit of the signal feed data, and inside of the active events, we can see that the events are marked fresh or stale according to how old they are. Of course, older ones do have a lesser impact, as we have seen in the Iran, Israel, and USA conflict recently. When it started back in March, crude had huge moves, 10-20% moves because of it, and nowadays, maybe 5 or 6% max. Most moves are limited to a 2 or 3% sort of thing in any given direction. Now we see here we track these live. So 31 minutes ago, as you can see down here, Israel escalated yet again after there were words of talks. So both of these sides are currently escalating, but the commitment and urgency is low, and that is seen in the crude price slowly waddling up and down these days. We have all the other major global events currently ongoing: the US China trade escalation, China Taiwan, and of course, on the top right of each of these, you see which commodity it affects and how. That's for the geopolitical side, and we have the signal history here, including all of the events with the date stamps. So you can see if any two different global events are coinciding and whether they're fighting each other as far as commodity prices are concerned, or whether they are confluating, which results in usually bigger moves. Let's go back to commodity intel and get into the quant signals. These are also very interesting. As you can see, not many have fired recently. 30-day fires are up there, but none in the past 24 hours or 7 days. Have the live feed here. The latest signals appears to be copper 8 days ago. Many signals coinciding there, so it's a gold signal. It should perform decently well. This here called uh, the gold and silver bull rallies that we saw in the past few years. So it doesn't fire very often, but when it does, it usually is, especially when there's consensus, gold, silver, or bronze, usually results in decent win rate trades. Moving on to some of the best win rates, we'll see, and it somehow comes from the easiest or the simplest signals, the analyst rhetoric. Now, some analysts or commodity desks have great hit rates for particular signals they do. For example, of course, the dashboard again here at the top with the latest signals, but we can see the live ones here. ICI Securities on crude apparently uh, at 5 days is 100% win rate. So they're bull on crude today. Morgan Stanley on crude 51%, Goldman Sachs 54 at 60 days. See, 5 days is usually where the real hit rates are at, but here we see Motilal Oswal with copper 75% at 60 days. So there's both long and short term signals here based on the analyst rhetoric. So, moving on to the equity side geopolitical rhetoric. This is based on the same events, but it gives you sector and stock breakdowns on what we think is going to happen because of these events and live escalations, de escalations, plateaus, etc. As you can see in the golden banner up here, two recent signals hidden cold backtests. So we continuously rerun our backtests since these events usually happen and die out fast. So whenever we see that any strategies are less than 55% win rate, we simply exclude them completely from uh, this side of equity side of things. You can, however, find the full news flow still on the commodity intel geopolitical rhetoric side, or the live rhetoric it is called there. Now, as you can see, we have the sectors here as well as the top responding stocks, banks on the bear side, and energy on the bull side. For the Iran conflicts, Russia, NATO, of course, has a wider basket, and China also a wider basket. But what's interesting here is you get to see the exact stock win rates. So, for example, as we can see here, whenever there's an Iran escalation, BPCL, ONGC have high win rates on the buy side, but IOC, while being from the same category of stocks, has a much lower win rate. Reliance, the same. Now, this is, of course, we know the reasons because half of these are oil intake companies, other half are oil output, etc. But this just makes it a lot easier to combine the geopolitical side of things into your day to day trades without investing too much extra time into it, and just prevents you from heading into the wrong direction when these important geopolitical events are ongoing. But yeah, that's about it for the geopolitical equity side. Just a neat little addition to your day to day stack.